When a private film allegedly involving Kirk Frost was leaked, it sparked a shocking uproar that no one had expected. Kirk Frost is well known for his well-publicized marriage to Rashida. Fans are shocked when the video goes viral, wondering who leaked it, what it contains, and how it may impact his marriage. But Rashida's reaction to the news is what's truly startling. While some are certain that there is more to this leak than meets the eye, and that someone closer than expected, a jealous rival or a bitter ex, could be to blame, others think he could be the last man to break their already problematic relationship. Fans are split over this controversy. Some are defending the curse, while others are convinced that this is the biggest betrayal ever. Stay tuned, because this narrative is going to take a turn that nobody anticipated. Just when you think it could get much worse, a new twist appears. Trust is broken in unexpected ways, and flying secrets begin to come apart. Overnight, his name became viral on all major platforms, and footage of Kirk Frost leaking was all over news sites, gossip blogs, and timelines. Some fans refused to believe it, insisting it was true, while others were stunned, incensed, and in a desperate search for explanations. No one could have prepared him for what was about to happen, yet he had been so careful that he had never allowed anything like this to happen. False people thought that this was the final straw in Kirk and Rashida's already tumultuous marriage, but the upheaval that was developing within Rashida's home was far worse. Her phone started vibrating frantically with calls and texts after she had just concluded a meeting for her cosmetics brand. She initially thought it was business-related, possibly involving some breaking news. She saw the influx of messages from friends, industry insiders, and even admirers she didn't know personally once her items became viral. Check your phone right now, girl, and let me know that this isn't real. Are you all right? Give me a call now. Her stomach fell. She felt as if the ground had disappeared beneath her as she clicked on the first link someone had provided her. In a leaked video, her husband, Kirk Frost, was seen standing in front of her feet. Unable to process what she was seeing, she froze. The image of Kirk sitting too near to another woman and whispering something in her ear was enough to send the internet into a frenzy and shatter her heart, even though the video wasn't very good. She put down the phone with shaking hands, unsure if it was a twisted deception or something genuine. Although she wanted to believe it was a deep fake of some kind, she had seen this happen before when Kirk became engrossed in drama that he always said was unimportant. Unaware that his entire world was about to collapse, Kirk walked in when the front door opened. Kirk hesitated, confused by. Rashida spoke tensely. "What's the matter?" She simply held up her phone, pressed play, and watched as Kirk's face became white. His lips parted slightly, and his jaw tightened as the video came to an end. Now, Kirk ran a hand over his head, inhaling sharply. "This isn't what it is," Rashida said, locking eyes with him. "The world is watching you get cozy with a random woman," and Kirk shook his head. "I swear, this is old. I don't even remember this. Someone is trying to set me up, and you don't remember that as an excuse. Do you realize how embarrassing this is for me, our kids, and our business?" Rashida seemed to laugh sorely. "We have a big problem because the video is everywhere. Sponsors are calling, asking for answers, and some are pulling out." Kirk exhaled, his hands balling into fists. "I don't know, but we need to find out quickly." "Oh, now we care about finding out." Kirk's phone rang before he could answer it, and it was his manager. He hesitated, then put it on speaker. A mystery account on social media with the handle AL Truth emerged, and Rashida crossed her arms. "You should have thought about that before you got caught up in this mess." The argument grew more heated as social media continued to explode with theories. Some fans defended Kirk, claiming that the video was ad-generated or taken out of context, but others weren't buying it. Uncovered began posting cryptic messages, saying, "This is just the beginning. More footage is coming soon." Panic set in, and Kirk had no idea what else was out there, what else they could have, or what could be worse than this. Kirk's hands trembled as someone claiming to be the woman in the video came forward with receipts, striking him like a freight train. He was scrolling through his phone, his heart pounding in his chest. The internet was on fire, and now a woman had come forward claiming to be the one in the video. This was rapidly spiraling out of control. Rashida stood across from him, arms crossed tightly, her face a flurry of emotions, her phone buzzing again. Another message she read aloud, her voice laced with fury. Mitchell had just texted. Rashida clicked the link, and in a few seconds, they were watching their worst nightmare unfold in real time. A famous gossip blogger sitting across from a woman in a sleek black dress, with perfectly manicured nails and hair in skating waves. Meet Burrow, this woman is doing an interview right now, and Kirk had to see for himself why his stomach was in knots. Let's get straight to the point. You say you were with Kirk Frost in that video, and the woman smirked. Her eyes gleamed, her expression cool and confident, as if she had been waiting for this moment. I won't say anything more because the video claims it felt lightheaded. Who was she? Where did she even come from? And when did this happen? The woman cocked her head, looking straight into the camera. Oh, it's real, and it's recent, Rashida said, laughing sharply and bitterly. Recently, Kirk shook his head frantically, saying, "What the hell is she talking about? She's lying. I don't even know her," she said. Some people believe it's artificial intelligence, while others think it's an old clip. The woman then pulled out her phone. Let's assist Kirk since he appears to be suffering from amnesia. Oh my God, Rashida felt sick. The blogger exclaimed. There was more to this scandal than meets the eye. This was real. She tapped her screen, and a new video with Kirk laughing and sitting close to him, his hand on her thigh and his voice unmistakable, appeared in a matter of seconds. It wasn't blurry or leaked. Think I'm making this up? Let me show you the text messages she pulled up screenshots of from Kirk. What else are you hiding, Kirk? Kirk's mind was racing. This isn't real. Rashida's hands were shaking and Kirk froze. You were out there texting her too, but missed that smile. With a knowing smile, the woman told me, "Oh baby, this is just the beginning. I have more, a lot more." Then she revealed the shocking information. Rashida is breathing in a second video. I didn't send it because I thought someone was trying to set me up, but Rashida wasn't listening anymore, and the blogger leaned in and soaked up the drama. I didn't want to say anything yet, but since Kirk is out here acting like a brand new person, there's another video, and believe me, it's worse than the first one. After getting married, Kirk felt his whole body go. Nell the blogger nearly screamed, and she leaned back casually. Kirk couldn't breathe if another video was coming. His career, his marriage, everything was over, and Rashida got up from her chair so quickly. Kirk reached out to Rashida, but she refused to give him that satisfaction, so she turned to her phone and went live without hesitation, tears in her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. I nearly fell. But I know I'm done. I can't do this anymore, Kirk. I've stood up for you. I've forgiven you, but this is so disrespectful. I'm not sure what to say, really, but know that I'm not dealing with this anymore. Rashida's voice was steady, but her face showed her anguish. This is wild. The internet exploded on Instagram once again, with fans bombarding the comments, demanding answers. Girl, we got your back. Get away from him. Once more, I'm not Ken. There's a reason Kirk doesn't want to admit this in that second video, and he knows exactly what's in it. And when it drops, the entire world will know too. Kirk felt the walls closing in, but he waited until the moment pressed down on him like 1,000 bricks. Kirk's phone buzzed with a new notification that the second video was coming soon. His hands trembled as he scrolled through the comments, his mind racing to process the disaster that was unfolding before him. His private words, his voice twisted into a weapon against him. The internet was already tearing him apart, breaking down every second of the leaked video, creating theories, and spreading a wildfire of scandal that was now out of his control. Tell that side chick to take down the entire video. We need the whole story. Imagine embarrassing your wife like this again. I hope she takes everything away. Kirk was barely able to breathe, and the air in the room felt heavy, suffocating his entire reputation. Raiva needs to leave him. We knew Kirk was unscrupulous, but this is a new low. As Kirk tapped on the video after receiving a notification that read, "Live now, Rashida Frost, I have something to say," his hands were shaking and his stomach flipped over. Thousands of people were already watching, and the comment section was moving so fast that he could barely keep up with everyone's interest in what Rashida would say when she appeared on. She took a deep breath while sitting in what looked like her boutique, without makeup or ostentatious attire, and said, "I don't know how to begin, but I know you've seen the video. I know you have opinions, and I know you want me to react." Her voice faltered a little, but she remained firm, and trust me, I have a lot of emotions right now. She's UT to expose him, so please say that you are leaving him, Rashida. We stand with you, sis girl. Don't cry over that man. He isn't worth it. Rashida exhaled slowly. Kirk initially thought he was going to get sick, but then her tone changed. "Let me be very clear about what you are seeing." Kirk blinked, and then the comment section exploded with confusion. What does that mean? Is Kirk innocent or not? Rashida leaned forward. "There are a lot of people out there who would love to see me leave my husband, who would love to see my family fall apart, and who thrive off seeing black people. What do you think?" The comment section changed, and now she's asking the girl if she's leaving KTK. This got messy very quickly, and Kurt's heart was racing. Was she defending him? Rashida folded her arms. Her voice turned hardened. "But you aren't asking who this woman is or why she's doing this." After trying to play me, she cut off the live broadcast, and Kirk exhaled sharply. His phone rang, and Benzino immediately returned. "What happened?" Kirk shook his head, still in disbelief. She basically left it open-ended, leaving people indifferent. Some think she's going to expose you, while others think she's going to take you back. Kirk rubbed his face and said, "I need to talk to her." When Kirk clicked A to get the notification, his blood ran cold. The woman was angry. Her tone was deadly serious. She had lost her typical smile, and now she wanted to act like she had no idea who I was. "I have to make this right before it's too late," but a fresh bombshell was dropped before he could even consider his next course of action. This time, the side woman wasn't kidding around when she went awry. The girl showed out the Reese A. Cates as the comments began to flood in, and since you want to act like I'm lying, she held up her phone. "Here is Kirk's entire voicemail to me, uncut and uncensored, and it will show you just what sort of man he is." Kirk's voice filled the room as she pressed play. "Look, this must remain between." The knowledge that there was no way out of this hit Kirk like a tidal wave, numbing his entire body. Within minutes of Rashida's live performance ending, the internet went crazy. "Rashida, I can't find out if this comes out, and I already have too much heat on me. For now, I'm done. Just be quiet, and we can discuss this later." Those two words had been clicked, shared, and discussed on every social media site, and now Kirk Frost's name was trending with them. Major gossip blogs, celebrity insiders, and even other reality stars had started to remark on the issue in addition to fans. Kirk sat still in his living room, staring at the screen of his phone. Was reading Paul's DNS messages all the time, but he was unable to force himself to answer any of them. This time seemed different. Even though he had dealt with controversies before and had settled disputes with Rashida more times than he could recall, he was brought back to reality by a loud tap at the door, and he knew precisely who it would be, so he hesitated before getting up. On the opposite side, Zeno stood with his arms folded. "What the hell did you do?" he asked, crossing his head as he walked in. "I don't even know." Zeno sneered, "No, don't play dumb." And now everyone knows that Kirk sat down, feeling as if everything was crushing him. "Bro, I was hardly able to keep up with her nasty comments." When Kirk pulled out his phone and saw Rashida's Instagram story with a plain black screen, his gut churned. Benzino, the voicemail man, shook his head and said, "It doesn't matter. It's out now, and Rashida isn't playing." Kirk tightened his jaw and said, "I didn't even know she had the voicemail." Benzino let out a low whistle and said, "You really messed up this time." Instead of answering immediately, Then Zeno leaned back and exhaled what I think was his first breath. You can't forgive him for writing some things in white text. Then he wiped his face and let out a strong exhale. Sitting opposite him, Zeno observed him. You are aware that she is going to act, aren't you? She's serious. This isn't just drama on social media. Kirk's expression darkened as he looked up. You lied to her face this time, and your own damn voice served as proof. This isn't like the last time you were caught in 4K. What is expected of her? Though his mind was racing, Kirk swallowed hard, unable to let Rashida go. For the first time, she may be truly done. Kirk gave a head shake. No, dude, we've experienced too much. We have a family and history. All she needs is time. Brother, and Zeno leaned forward. Like this, he wondered again. What about their empire and their business? His worst nightmare had come true as he grabbed his phone, looked up the numbers for their companies, checked his emails, and saw that not only were people angry with Kirk, but they were also backing Rashida, which meant trouble for everything they had worked so hard to build. Brand deals were already being retracted, and their endorsements were in hot water. Zeno glanced over his shoulder and said, "Oh, you just realized, bro, Rashida is the face of Yoel's brand. If she walks away, what do you think happens to all this?" Kirk's hands clenched into fists. He needed to make a quick fix, but before he could come up with a plan, he received another notification. Rashida Frost was due in the shave room. During the live interview, Kirk's heart nearly stopped since she was about to tell the public everything. As Kirk read the headline once more, his hands clenched around his phone. Rashida was finished keeping quiet and would spill the beans when she went live on the shade room. He felt shallow breathing since he realized that these interviews were more than merely clearing. Ben Zeno continued to stand with his arms folded, observing Kirk, the story's adversary. Hopefully, she won't say something that will destroy you. You expected her to irritate me in that way, but Kirk glared at him. Bro, Zeno sneered. You assumed she would hold back, but she had already blasted you. Rashida is launching the shaving room. Kirk taps with clammy hands while his pulse thuds in his ears. Rashida was sitting in a dark room. For messy Kirk, who breathed loudly and had a rushing mind, this is the shade room where they reside. Maybe she wouldn't go that far, or maybe she would just say something like, I need space, and we're working things out. Virl, the host didn't spend any time. It's been going crazy on the internet. Rashida took a big breath and shook her head when we asked what was actually happening. The comments were flying, and the chat was going insane. We had time to expose him after he came clean. Rashida's jaw tightened in anticipation. But eventually you have to stop protecting the person who wouldn't protect you, she said, her eyes darkening as she trailed off. The host leaned closer. Are you implying that Kirk has been lying for some time and that he wasn't simply lying? Prior to continuing, I had no desire to be in this situation or post about my private affairs on social media. Rashida nodded slowly as the host continued. Although it's not the first time, this instance was unique. Let's talk about that voicemail because, girl, when people heard it, the internet went crazy. Kirk felt his stomach plummet. The conversation erupted once more as Rashida's face stiffened. The internet went nuts as the host blinked. Rashida nodded, and more recordings, mails, and other proof appeared. Benzo's eyes widened as Kirk nearly dropped his phone and shook his head, wondering, what did you do? Is there anything else she might be concealing? It's unclear to me whether she is bluffing, but Rashida wasn't done yet. The host's eyes sparkle with anticipation as she assertively states, I've been quiet for too long, but I'm not holding back anymore. Rashida, what comes next? After a protracted tense silence, Rashida finally turns to face the camera. She said, I'm done, and the room became quiet. Rashida's startling admissions left everyone in disbelief, and the situation is only getting worse. The internet is on fire. What Kirk Frost will do next is the most important question at this point. Will he fight back, or will his legacy conclude with more secrets? In front of him, his reputation, marriage, and profession were all collapsing, and there was nothing he could do about it. Revelation, Or does Red Redemption still have a chance? But there's no denying that this narrative is far from over. And since we know you all have thoughts, let's hear them. Is Kirk's time in the spotlight officially over, or do you think he can move past this scandal? If you would like to get updates on this thrilling drama, please like this video and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. We guarantee that if you click the notification bell and subscribe to the channel, tea is only beginning.